Okay, folks, I'm going to take you through the Trimui golf game. So we start on this is an emulation of a Game Boy. So this is Konami Golf. So this is a game that I loved. And in this mode, you can go on a classic settings, or you can enhance the colours like I've done here, which adds a bit more life to it. And I think gives the game a bit of a lift, really. The beauty of this game was that it's like some of the other Mario games on the Game Boy, but you could select your clubs and that gave you a bigger spot within which to hit the ball. So if you, as it's shown here, you go down a club to say a 3-iron or a 1-iron or whatever, you can see at the bottom the band gets bigger. So you can kind of hedge your bets a little bit, and then it's got this really kind of nice mechanic showing a good graphic in the middle, and then off it goes. And it's like a lot more of the simple Game Boy games, but I just like the style of it. And there's tournament mode, which you can set up for 1, 2, 3 or 4 days. So you're only playing one player, but it gives you something to do. And of course, with the Trimui, you can save your progress, which is great because you can just come back to this, days or weeks later and just think, I'm just going to play a few holes. It's really satisfying. Bit of backspin there didn't work. Really satisfying game. And I think if you're playing well and you learn the courses, you can go around under par and you've got a chance of hitting good scores. But if you hit the pin there, but if you go off without thinking about it, or you're out of practice, it can be an absolute swine. So there you go. Konami Go first of all on the Nintendo Game Boy. Bit of a random one here. This is on Game Gear. This is Fred Couples Golf on the Game Gear, and it's not a bad conversion. It's quite smooth, it's playable, and I'm only generally picking out the games that are playable on this console because some just don't work. They're just not very good games, or they just don't lend themselves to this console. Now this game is basic. It's got that top-down view, but you can play different. You can draw or fade the ball. Like I'm going to try and pull that ball around the corner now, as you can see on the bottom left, just about, and I'm holding this in my hand. So you've got to bear with, I'm trying to film as I record here. And now that just draws it around the corner there, look. And now chance here for birdie. Unfamiliar with the controls because I'm jumping around the games a lot, so it takes me a little while to get back into these games. But this isn't a bad little game as a distraction. I wouldn't say it's as good. You can see the slope there, the lighter being the higher ground. I wouldn't say this is better than Konami on the Game Boy. So that's my current leader, but I quite like the way that the putting works on here. The animation on when the ball goes in the hole is very good. So that's Fred Couples on Game Gear. Right, next up is Mario Golf on Game Boy Advance. I'm pretty sure there's Game Boy Advance, and it's got nice graphics, nice colours there, a little bit of an upgrade from the Game Boy, and a really nice 3-click mechanism here, or 2-click, one to get going. So it's a 3-click mechanism. It works really well. You've got good control on the on just the way it plays. It's pretty intuitive, but again, what I'm trying to do here is just get this video out for you to see what I'm doing. I don't really pay too much attention, so that wind there was never going to pull that in. You've got tournament mode, you've got career mode. You can slowly build your character up on this game, so there's quite a bit to do here. Is it better than the Konami one? Well, possibly. I think it ticks all the boxes, but I do kind of like that Konami game. This is certainly better than Fred Couples. I suppose really for all you're getting on this game, this is to be the number one of the 3 games so far. Bear in mind, there's probably 30 games on the Trimui Smart Pro that you could play. It's all the emulators going, but this is just a selection. So number 3 at the moment, Mario Golf on Game Boy Advance. This is top of the pop so far, in at number 1. We go into the 16-bit era here. So this is on the Super Nintendo, also available on the Mega Drive, but it won't have the same graphics as this because this uses, I think, I forget what they use it, but you can also have scrolling graphics. This was a game I played extensively back in the day. and it translates really well onto this console. The controls are really snappy, so that when you do the skill snap there at the bottom, if you're good at the game, not and you get in practice, it's fair. It's not that it's not that the machine is holding me up. It's just that I'm not very good at the game. So really good game. You've got tournament mode. You've got 1 and 2 player on this. It's a quality game. Yeah, it looks dated, but it runs quickly. This was an old cartridge game, of course, you know, like the others are as well. And they do tend to load quickly, and this emulation on this console runs really, really well. So this is PGA Golf on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Plays really, really well. Just wish I was a little bit better at it. Maybe I need to invest a bit more time. Really good game. I would probably put this maybe level with Mario Golf that I just looked at a moment ago, because though this does look slicker, it hasn't, and it's got a kind of more PGA feel. There's not quite as much stuff to do. Now, some of you guys will recognise this instantly, or so you think. This is a Neo Geo game. It's called Major Title 2. It's essentially an early version of Neo Turf Masters. And the thing I like about this game over Neo Turf Masters is you don't have a skill stop on the putting. You basically predetermine your power, your direction, the fade or the draw, the club, all that sort of stuff. And then you've just got to get the spin snap on the left-hand side, up or down. But actually, in terms of power, you don't have to worry about that because you've predetermined it, which unfortunately I'm struggling to show on the screen. But it's on some little bars at the bottom, just off the bottom of the screen. So it adds a different kind of feel to it. Other than that, it's basically the same as Neo Turf Masters, which you can also get on this console. So I just want to show this for a bit of difference. Really good games. You guys will be familiar with these games. You get them on modern consoles now because they do all the ports. Quality game. Is this the best of the lot so far? I would say perhaps not. I've just got a sort of fond place for the other games, and they have a more of a tournament mode, whereas this is, you kind of get a tournament mode, but I sometimes feel this game can be a bit brutal to you, and it is a port from an arcade game, but a great game. And if you like Neo Turf Masters, it's on here, and this is a great version. This is Major Title 2 Neo Geo. Right, folks, I'm jumping right up now to show a bit more of the capability of the console. So this is on the Dreamcast. So this is tee off, and this is very similar to Everybody's Golf, really. But back in the day when this came out, you can see the graphics there. It scrolls really well on this Trimui Smart Pro. There's no graphical glitches, and the controls as well are really snappy and precise. There's no lag. And you really do have to have good controls on this game, because if you don't, you'll miss the snap. And if you miss the snap on this game, you're dead, basically. It's very unforgiving. But I did have a few games of this, and when I got the hang of it, I was really nailing a lot of this. Now, there's a series, a sort of World Series season that you play on this, and it puts you up against different AI competitors for individual rounds. But what it's actually doing is it's recording your score for the entire round, and then you're in a kind of tournament. So this can be a little bit frustrating, because you've got to watch the other player play, and sometimes they're blimmin' useless. Sometimes they're not, but just having to sit and watch those guys play as well is an annoyance. This is a great game, and I think back in the day was absolutely class. The graphics of the Dreamcast were really a step ahead of the PlayStation. No blockiness, smooth graphics. This is kind of, if you like, it looks very much like almost PS2 or Wii style graphics, which for its time was revolutionary. The only thing is, it's got annoying music and things like that, and there's not a great deal of options. You basically just have to follow it through the mode it takes you on, which isn't bad. Putting's really good on it, and I think when you get the hang of it, great game. So there you go. That's tee off on the Dreamcast. Just watch this one shot. Is he going to nail this one? Here we go. Not quite. Oh, nearly. There you go. Let's go on to the next game. Okay, folks, we're really pushing the envelope now. So this is from the PSP. This is Pro Stroke Golf. Now, you get the odd graphical glitch in the sky on this game, and it uses shoulder buttons. You can see that glitch there just above you. There it is again. That's all you get, and it happens on most holes, and it's a bit of a shame. The sound is good, graphics are smooth, controls work just as they did on the PSP, so it's really quite satisfying. Again, this is one of these games where sometimes it pits you up against a AI opponent and you've got to sit and watch that guy take all of his shots as well, which can be pretty frustrating. But I've been playing this game a little bit, and when you get your eye in, particularly on the putting, you can rack up some decent scores. It's not too harsh on you, and you can sort of think your way around the course and have a really good game. And you've got who have you got on here? You've got, I think Sam Torrance and maybe Alan. What's the guy called? I forget what the guy's called, but some guy, Alan Davis, I don't know. Alan somebody from Radio 5 Live who did loads of football commentary is on here doing the commentary as well. So you've got good commentary. It's got a very mellow feel about it. You could almost feel you're out playing golf. Really good buzzing fly sound effects. So that really puts this at the top of the list. And I think really, although I do like tee off golf, this adds that level of realism. So at the minute, it's the best game on this list. It really is good. So there you go. And the control system works a treat on here. That's Pro Stroke Golf on the PSP. Again, Trimui Smart Pro deals with this really, really nicely, and a lot of consoles for less than 100 quid wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, folks, this is Tiger Woods Golf on PSP, and it runs really, really well. The graphics are smooth, the sound's good. It's got a career mode which you follow through a season. You have these little mini games occasionally when the crowd are up against you. The one thing I would say is using the left-hand joystick doesn't work very well. It can work, but it's a little bit glitchy. So I'll go through a 3-button press system, which does mean you can hit your shot straight. It makes it a little bit easier without a doubt, but it does run well in that way. But you do have to be quick on pressing that X button. It seems to register if you press the button quick. If you don't press the button quick, it sort of doesn't really take. So the controls are not quite perfect, but when you do get your eye in on this game and the graphics and the little views of your player like that there, look, it's great fun. You're creating your own player, you're unlocking different clubs and kit to wear, and you're upgrading your skills. So there's lots to do on this game. Again, you can save it nicely on the console. Putting is pretty easy when you get the hang of it, and you can wallop some great scores in on this, you know. Absolutely great fun. So this is Tiger Woods Golf on the PSP running on the Trimui Smart Pro. So well worth a look, folks. And of course, you can download loads and loads of games onto this console yourself if it isn't preloaded with them. So there you go, folks. Back at the old Konami Ranch. So that's a quick whistle-stop tour around half dozen games. There's 5-10 times as many games as that. You've got games on the NES, you've got arcade games, you've got PlayStation. You can probably get hold of some games for the N64. All sorts you can do. Give me some suggestions of any other sports titles you want me to play. I've done a football or soccer, as some people would say, video. There's loads of sports. I'm perhaps going to do a tennis one at some stage. But if you want me to do beat 'em up, shoot 'em ups, arcade classics, whatever, let me know and I'll put you a selection on here. And if you're considering getting a Trimui Smart Pro again, and you're thinking, will it run this game or that game or the other that you really do want it to run, ask me. I'll check it out and run that video for you. So and test that game for you. So hope you enjoyed that. Like and subscribe, and catch you guys on the Golfing Schmolfing flip side. I couldn't have said it better myself.